In preparation for the 2023 general election, Yaga Africa, in a sensitization outreach, urged every Nigerian of voting age to go pick their PVCs, addressing prospective voters. Samson Itodo, executive director of the group, said Nigerians must not sit on the fence but must participate actively in the nation's electoral process. And this is what we shall be looking at this morning. I have a guest in the house. She is the project lead, Secure PVC, Ms. Munisola Salaudin. It's good to have you here this morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yes, talking about voter apathy. Why are we having voter apathy at this point in time in the nation?
Very quickly, I think we should start from what is even apathy. People have to understand the definition of apathy itself. Okay. And in a simple term, I'm going to say that apathy is just the lack of psychological involvement, emotional detachment, passion, or let me say abstention from political processes or electioneering processes in a state. So for people that don't understand that the big grammar I've just said just now, it's just that you don't have passion, you don't have trust in the election and the electioneering process in Nigeria. That is what apathy simply means. So there are many reasons or many causes of political apathy. For example, lack of varieties when it comes to candidacy, lack of mobilization, lack of motivation, failed promises over time. Those are reasons why people are not willing, or they don't even trust the process of election and electioneering process in Nigeria. They have little or no trust in the entire process of political processes in the country. Those are the reasons why people don't participate or people have apathy towards the election and electioneering process in Nigeria.
You know, when you look at the issue of the voting process, the electoral process itself, you will expect younger people to come out more, even more than the elderly. But when you see the situation in Nigeria, you find out that among younger people, we have more apathy, where they feel that, oh, how is it my business? For some of them don't even have their PVCs. Before you answer that question, dear viewers, you can call into the house this morning by simply dialing the number on your television set to ask your questions or be part of the conversations. Yes, over to you.
Sincerely speaking, that saddens me a lot to see that the largest population, if you're going to look at the demography, youth represents the largest of the demography in Nigeria. Even as said by INEC, we represent about 60% or 60% plus of the demography in Nigeria. And it boils down towards the quality of our civic education, political literacy in the country. How well do we have the knowledge of those that should even represent us? How well, what are those things that we teach in our primary schools, in our secondary schools? I've always been saying that curriculum needs to be changed when it comes to the issue of politics, election, and voter literacy in the country.
So you think it should also be injected into the curriculum as well?
Yes. You see, in America, for example, people know exactly what is going on in political parties. And the Democrats are aware. The Republicans, they are aware of what goes on in those parties. But here, do I know exactly what goes on in APC? Do I know the process? Do I know the processes before they can conduct their primary elections? Am I aware of even when they conduct those primary elections? Those are the things that we ourselves as young people, we need to know. So the quality of our political literacy will translate to political participation. You see, I don't need to go to houses to start cajoling you to, oh yeah, come out and come and vote. I feel if you understand the need for you to participate, because if you don't participate, I beg to say that you don't have the right to question any leader if they're not doing exactly what they should do. So I feel like it is your participation. If you have an understanding of who should be in this particular office, so the petty party political system would not be in existence. You will not say, oh, because this person is affiliated to me by ethnicity or by religion or by class, that is the only reason why I have to vote. It goes far beyond Omo Yamini. Oh, this person is my brother from somewhere. We are from Osun State together, or we are from Lagos together. No. Somebody who is going to sit, who's going to be the forefront runner, who's going to be the first man in the country, it goes beyond this person is my person. And we have to understand what values even these people hold dear to themselves. So it even saddens me the most when I hear people saying that we have corrupt leaders. I beg to say that where do those corrupt leaders come out from?
But are younger people given the chance? We've seen situations where they are asking ahead of 2023 general elections, how many parties are fielding young people?
You see, I mentioned something some time ago that when it comes to political participation with younger people, even the federal character does not discriminate against this participation from younger people, gender, and the likes. The federal character does not discriminate. But here is it here. It is sad that we cannot say we want to start a new political party. I feel, in my own idea, we need to join those ones that we know. According to INEC, there are 18 known political parties. Meanwhile, we only know those two big ones, the APC and the PDP of today. Let's youth come on board. Get into there. What needs to be changed is what? The political structure in there. It takes a lot for you to say you want to start a new political party. What about the funding? There's a platform in existence already. What we need to do is what? Join those political parties. Try effect change when it comes to the structure of those political parties. I believe you're getting what I'm trying to say.
Are the youth ready to take up this challenge? Because one thing is that people don't just give you power, you have to take it. Are they willing to take this challenge like you are throwing it?
The consciousness of people is gradually dying on a daily basis, especially for young people. They have little or no belief that anything can get better. And for people who have that kind of mindset, I can say that they are not really ready to take up any challenge. And for me to actually put it out there, change does not happen within a split second. No. It takes conscious, deliberate attempt at change. As though it seems to me that we say we want change, yet we do the other thing. We don't come out to equally represent Nigeria. Being a Nigerian means being there for Nigeria. So if we want things to translate into the change that we want to see, we have to associate ourselves with the process. We cannot disengage from the process and expect something better to happen. That's not the way it is done. The statistics is not measuring up at all.
Let me read out the statistics that I have here for you. That said, it was recorded that 22.13% increase in continual voter registration in 2019. 2023 is now up to us. What exactly happened? If we have just 22, and now people are looking at 2023, are you optimistic that it might get better?
I'm not. You know why? Looking at it, we are in the third quarter of permanent voters card registration, which is going to close by March 22nd. The final quarter, which is the fourth quarter, is going to happen between April 11 till June 30th. Even when you go to INEC offices, these people are not busy the way I want them to be engaged. Nigerians are not trooping out the way I want them to troop out and get this thing done. Outside that, some people commence their pre-registration and refuse to go for their biometric registration or exercise. Why is that so? They are not convinced enough that this thing can change anything. Because I don't know why you will start a registration process on your phone or in the cafe and you will not go for the biometric. See, it doesn't come easy. Let's be frank with ourselves.
I was actually coming to that because the process, some people say it's very cumbersome for them.
It's not going to come easy now. At the moment, INEC is not going to communities to commence the biometric registration for people. You have to move down.
And why are we having that? Because it doesn't happen like that in other climes.
Funding. I believe they are actually underfunded and short-staffed.
But here we are talking about good governance. Without this process, how then do we achieve this good governance that we all clamor for?
My mom used to say something in Yoruba, before you get something. I don't know, she says that in a lot. I don't know how to say it in English, but I think we must actually go hungry first. When we are hungry, we become angry. And I think that anger will translate to action. We are at the point whereby everything has gone to the lowest ebb. Any iota of development, I can't see, I can't perceive, I can't smell, I can't feel. So if we actually must go back to the top, if we must get to somewhere, let's start by climbing the ladder from the top, from the bottom, not going from the top.
Okay, let's pick this call. Oh, we lost that call immediately. Okay.
So for me, when I hear that we have corrupt leaders, those people came out from our churches, came out from a Nigerian parent, they came out from our mosque, they came out from our communities, they came out from our homes, they came out from our businesses, our offices. So what would we have if we have corrupt, less informed people, or less informed children, less informed society, less informed community? We are definitely going to have corrupt, less informed. Let me ask
you this. Why are you this passionate about this project, Secure the PVC?
Because I believe that change can happen. I'm hungry. I'm dissatisfied. And it is when you are dissatisfied, when you are hungry, but most importantly, hopeful, that things can get better. That is when you can get to this point of passion. If you are not, I'm not happy with the way things are going. About now, my siblings are in school. They are on strike at the moment. Because my parents would have budgeted in their minds that my children should finish in the next 4 years. I read law for nearly 6 years. Time that I should use to commit myself into other productive things, learn other skills, and do something better with my life. But here is it. We have people intentionally stalling the academic growth.
Why would you use the word intentionally?
Don't we have the money? You see, it is where you want to put the money. You put the money into security. You put a lot of the money into security. Yes, it is needed. The country is insecure. But for you to raise informed people, you have to fund education as well. Developed nation, take for instance the Asian tigers. What did they do? You want a developed nation. You will not intentionally dumb your people. No. You have to be deliberate. There has to be a deliberate attempt to say, okay, we want transition in the country in the next 10 years. This is the Nigerian goal. This is the Nigerian dream. There has to be a blueprint. And that blueprint, education has to top it. If your people are less informed, you will definitely bet a society that is not going to grow well, is not going to develop well, and compete with other nations. You will keep on borrowing, obviously.
But we have a situation where the government and us have been on the negotiating table now for a while. So when you were using the word intentional, I kept asking myself, is it that they are intentionally not allowing education to grow, despite the fact that they've been on the negotiating table for a while now?
When I say intentionally, I'm saying that if you are intentional about the growth of education in the country, your children will not be outside the country. That's one thing. That is where the catch is. If you want the education system of this country to grow, I think when you have your kids, every last one of them, in the public schools there, I think you will be much more interested in their own personal growth. You wouldn't go abroad to celebrate your child's graduation while I am here wallowing in ASU strike, internal strike, here and there.
Is it not a matter of choice if I have the money to send my child abroad to say, oh, go and study that?
For a public office holder, it doesn't have to be a choice of you having money. You are serving people, you have to lead by example. For a public office holder, I'm not. Go back and forth to funding. Go back and forth to the quality of research we have in our schools today. Go back and forth to the equipment we even have for those research. How then can we compete better with top nations? With world-class institutions? How? If these fundings are not in place, if we don't have all of this equipment, if we don't have all of these top qualified lecturers that are willing, that are enthusiastic about passing knowledge across to students, if we don't have it, you see, to every part of the Nigerian sector is wallowing in deep corruption.
You talk about corruption. This administration prides itself in the anti-corruption fight.
Oh, but I don't know if whatever. I think.
Okay, let me take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. My name is Honorable. I'm calling from Apathy.
Oh, great. Your contribution, please.
Yeah. To the young lady there. Inspiring. You can understand that thing. I can understand. But it is the truth. So I have think bullshit.
Okay.
Because the Chinese say when you eat the rotten the whole body is finished. The present dispensation in Nigeria does not come to help the people. Come to create a very big divide among the elite and the people. The elites are not thinking the way she thinks. And the elites are those who have what it takes to change the society. I can understand her, like, I really pity her, you know, her desire for change in Nigeria. Yes, this government, this for the political class, didn't understand that in Nigeria passing through. If you look at the situation now, yesterday we were talking with the man at the prevent meta or whatever they call them. Today we are talking about the other day, this very moment, keep talking about it like that, because the Americans have side. That's our reflected the entire podium so people for you. So I can understand her thing. I can understand that girl, she should also know that either the way we act will be quick. So on the voting, on the voting, all the people she thinks will vote to change for their stomach.
All right, thank you so much for that contribution. We quite appreciate. All right, your reactions to what he has said.
It spoke my mind. I couldn't hear some things clearly, actually, but I heard the fact that he said that he understands clearly what I'm feeling and what Nigerians are feeling. But most importantly is the fact that our leaders, if they don't understand exactly what we are feeling, they will not be able to provide solution that will fit purpose to the problems Nigerians are facing. And speaking again on political apathy, speaking again on voter apathy, it is clear. When you militarize the entire electoral process, when you infuse thuggery into it, when there is a very high level of political deception.
We have another caller here. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call.
So I'm saying that when you have a very high rate of political deception over and over time, Nigerians are already tired of failed promises. You promise, but I also blame them. I blame myself.
So you think followers they also have a role to play in all of this?
In fact, they have the biggest role to play. You don't just you don't leave people there. When you elect people, you see the entire what governance simply means is all of us together. When you elect people, when we elect people there, it is our sole responsibility as well to follow up on whatever it is they've been elected to do in that office. So 80% of those we elect into those offices don't have an inkling of what they should do there. As I keep saying, you see, any lunatic can come with a manifesto. Anybody can write a manifesto. Anybody can go on Google today.
But do we ask questions? That's another one there.
Exactly. Do we even ask questions? Do we engage them enough to know, okay, what are your values? Outside this thing that you've written, that you've presented to us, how do you solve this particular problem? Each and every one of us, and we are gradually becoming very impatient. We lived in a very fast-paced world that youth want everything, fast. And I keep saying it, see, that is not going to happen. And if we continue to go, we are gradually sinking. I wouldn't even say we are already down below. But if we continue to go, I tell people that one of two things will happen. A revolution or a coup.
I am sure that none of it is what is expected, because as of now we are looking for a truth, a way in which we can get out of the quagmire that we found ourselves as a people. Talking about the younger people, so this is why youth inclusion, and for me, like in your state, they say it's getting better. We are more and more youth are being involved in governance. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, that's a very, very solid improvement. Very, very worthy of congratulating them that they've been doing something very awesome in Oyo State. But Oyo is just one out of 36 states in Nigeria. What are other states doing to also create a platform that is very inclusive and comfortable for youth to come in? I tell people very well that, see, the old ones should go and relax. But it is like it mirrors the failed system that we have. If we have a static age for people to retire, we should have a static age for our leaders not to contest in elections again. It's just that you were the one who said no. The moment you are of this age, you should already retire from any government work as a civil servant. As a civil servant too, you should not contest when you are of this age, when you've reached this benchmark. But no, the opposite is what we see here. Somebody of 80 something, 70 something contesting for election. The young one should go there and seek advice from the old one, not the old ones going there and making young people their advisory committee, board of advisors. It is so antagonistic for me. It's very, very contradictory.
Where is that wealth of experience? They'll say that when you talk about the aged, they have that experience.
For young people.
For the aged.
It's not just experience is needed. Experience is core. But most importantly, your intellectual capacity.
Okay, let's pick this. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Mr. Martins. I'm calling from...
Oh, good morning. Your contribution, please.
Yes. When we talk of problems, for us to come out of our problems, we must identify that we have a problem.
Yeah.
That the young lady is saying. What is happening in Nigeria is that, I have said it before, Nigeria can only come out of a problem if they will begin to think the thing with each other. We live on lies and crookedness. It is a politicians that are seeped into our political system, religion. They will tell you we are not supporting any religion. It's a lie. If you go to offices, they share preaching posts to so and so religion so that we are for them to achieve. If you have a problem and you don't have a problem, the problem will not be solved. But if you have a problem, you sit down, keep yourself out, prayerfully, you will come to the problem. Nigerians that are doing some poverty, they do see that the poverty who are in the same degree they study in Nigeria. If you make our education system very perfect and good, our education system will work. India is something like that, and India is becoming an industrial country. But today, we are not here because we live online. This illegal is coming, and it has a good intention. Those who need must make sure they come in this destroy the system, and because they are not going to be called, they will only call the leader. That's what is happening today. So what that girl is saying is correct. Only God can help us, and if they continue, the revolution that will come.
Thank you very much, Mr. Martins. We quite appreciate you for what you have just said. Yes, he is talking about that we have to pray, and it's talking about corruption, like you also mentioned, that we have to also improve on that.
Well, I think he mentioned something that got my attention, naming the nomenclature right. If we don't identify that there's a problem, we cannot solve it. Chimamanda said something. She said that people have always asked her that why is she not calling herself a humanist? Why is she calling herself a feminist? She's saying that because there is a problem with gender. There's a problem with my gender. So if I'm not naming that problem appropriately, we cannot find possible solution to that problem. So I will not call myself a humanist because I can't see the problem there yet. I'm seeing the problem with my own gender. That is why we have to name the problem correctly before we can find a possible solution to that problem. So for Nigeria, for Nigerian youths, in fact for everybody generally, we have to identify that we cannot say this thing and do the other. Honestly speaking, every part of the sector is convulsing. From our schools, to our communities, to our churches, our mosques, our offices, our business places, you have to know somebody before you can get to somewhere. Then how long do we go from there?
You think we need reorientation or what?
Starting from now, for the forthcoming 2023 election, I don't know if we have a very long time to do that, but if we start from somewhere, we start reorientating people, enhance our civic education, let people be politically literate, it helps a lot. It will go a very, very long way. But it will actually mean one thing here, that people should not be expecting that at the moment we come out en masse for this particular election, something will change. We should also troop out for local government elections as much as we are also anticipating the general presidential election. That is where the change will come from. If you vote Omoyami for your local government election, see, they are your representative, whether elected representative or selected representative. They are there to speak on your behalf. But if they are not representing your problem at the top, if you are not, let me say, intentional about voting those people in, something will happen there.
Before I let you go, poverty has also been identified as another major problem, because even when people know the truth, when they see those who throw money at them, you see them collecting money and living integrity.
I still find poverty and educational poverty, at the same time financial poverty, as a particular, is an intention to make the Nigerian people poor, honestly speaking. There is an intention. It's a deliberate attempt. When you make people, it's just a tool we use in politics generally. When you want people to succumb, when you want people to follow whatever it is you say or you want them to do, make them dumb and make them poor. Those two tools are very, very effective when you want to make people lose interest easily, when you want to tilt people to your own side. So when Nigerians, in fact, a very large percentage of us live below $1 a day. So I can't really generally blame them, because when they see an aspirant coming with bag of rice, coming with this, coming with that, have you seen the number of children on the streets walking in Bodija market?
All right, let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm from Kaduna.
Oh, from Kaduna. Interesting. Your contribution, please.
Right. I think, just like last point you said before, I put this call. I think the problem of this country is leaders, and how do they even achieve their goals? They deliberately keep us at peace. They put us on their feet. We will be easily manipulated. They're not a hungry man, someone who has eaten a meal from morning till evening. Give him a knife. Tell him to go and do anything wrong. He will do it. Go and tell him to go and do anything for money. He will do it. Because why? He has to survive. That is the same way in this country. So putting the political aspect to contribute, that is exactly how we achieve own goals. By the time they find it easy to stop you and bring you anything they want you to do. You get. So we can't fight if we don't have the technical, we don't expect. That's why you job. You have to go through serious the problems. You have to know someone money, but even to someone to get a job, because that is the tool. If they give you a job, you're ready. It must be something outside them. If you don't have a job, you have a job. If you don't have a job, what will you do? You get nothing. So that's the problem we have in this country. All those things are connected and will not go somewhere.
Thank you for that contribution. We appreciate it. Before I let you go, your final thoughts on this issue of voter apathy.
Sincerely speaking, our political aspirants, I cannot particularly say that I have one person to pinpoint, but I feel that the politicians are moving. What are the electorates doing? What are we doing right now? I see us on Twitter commenting that this and this and this, criticizing. Beyond critics, beyond criticism right now, what are we doing? There is no polling unit on Twitter. Everything we are going to do come March 2023 will be on the streets. So it is high time that we start walking on the street to get people registered by ourselves. We should move away from Facebook noise, Twitter noise, Instagram noise, and let's go back to the streets. Those that are going to vote have issues, a lot of issues with the elites especially. Let's encourage ourselves better. Beyond our keyboards, beyond our phones, let's go on the street. We know it, we understand. Okay, I know you know it. I know you know what is wrong with Nigeria. Some people don't know. It is where you just tilt them so that they go to where they see bag of rice. That's exactly where they're going to go to. Those are the majority, those are the minority deciding exactly what will become of the majority in Nigeria today. What will become of you, your children, your grandchildren, the entirety of Nigeria? Those are the people deciding it. The market women, the pepper sellers, Babaloja and the likes, they are the ones deciding. So you, the elite, and you know exactly what is wrong with Nigeria, that you know it all, let's go back to the streets.
All right.
A faction of us cannot remain dumb. A faction of us cannot be politically literate. We all have to understand that it goes beyond the bucket of rice you're getting. It translates to what your children will enjoy. It translates to what should be and not what it is at the moment. So that is my own final.
Thank you so much, Miss Monisola Salaudin, for coming on AM Cafe. We quite appreciate you. She is the project lead, Secure PVC, and we have been discussing voter apathy. I'll take a breather. When I come back, another conversation with another guest. Don't go anywhere.